Hold up.
So,
All right.
what pair you trade, bro?
Um, the main pairs I stick to, my main pair is UJ, but I also trade GJ, GU, and AUD and AU.
So UJ, GJ, and AU.
Yeah.
All right. What account size like you usually have, like around your balance?
Usually I try to keep it like 250 to 500, but I've been taking a break just because like the last two I had I blew, so I was just like, nah, I gotta like reevaluate myself. So
Okay. And what lot size are you usually using?
I try to keep it to where it's a point one for every $100 in my account.
Okay. That's smooth. So, point one. And do you usually go like off of a pip goal or like
Uh,
more profit goal? Like how you know?
um, so I usually base it off of like my zones and like what I think I could get out of the trade. So I don't normally set like a certain like tip goal or anything like that. I remember like what I used to do like 30 pips a day,
Mm-hmm.
and like I was like I had my analysis going further. So then I just started to like conflict stuff because then I was like, all right, do I just settle for the 30 pips or do I go to where like I see price is probably gonna like actually shoot up towards, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you consider yourself more like intraday or like swing type?
More of an intraday like swing type, just because like I can't really like I tried to do scalping for everything like that, and I was just like I don't know how people do this.
Yeah, I don't know how either,
So
bro. Like that shit is too stressful.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm more like intraday and like swing if the opportunity is there.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
cool.
I have like my foundation of like what I base all my trades off of,
Hmm.
because like I tried taking the signals for a little bit, and like that just was that was terrible because like I was like some of like I never really because like I would look and I try to see exactly what Drew was seeing. But then it was just like at the same time, I was just like, yo, I'm not about to stress myself out
Yeah,
and like continuously like fuck up my account because like
yeah,
I can't get exactly in like in this dude's head. But
right, right. Yeah, it's
so
definitely best to like go with your own analysis and what you think is gonna happen because everybody sees the market differently. You know.
yeah, it's fact.
So that's
Yeah.
smooth. So intraday swing type UJ GJ AU 250 500 using usually like a point one per $100 in your account. So good risk management. Um,
No.
yeah, bro, that's smooth. So you say you needed help setting up like your trading plan, right?
Yeah. So just like findings, because like I've been like all over the place with it because like I said before, like greed was used to be a big thing for me
Hmm.
because like I would literally like hold trades for like I don't even know. I held one trade I want to say for like 2 3 days, and I ended up getting like the same amount of profit I would have had I just like stuck to my original TP.
Hmm.
But it was just like at the same time too, I didn't have my same level of understanding, so I
Right.
was like, damn,
So that's when like usually like for instance, I give myself to like the Fibonacci ratio. Like for instance, if I'm in an uptrend,
mm-hmm.
I get myself to like a 38.2. You know what I'm saying? Or usually that's where I'm at because it's like I don't want to give up too much. You know what I mean? So as long as it's staying within that 38.2 range, like I'll hold my trades. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I'll try to maintain till I get to that negative 27, which is like usually my take profit area. So
Mm-hmm.
and even if like I'm exiting trades like while I'm on the minor time frames, I'll usually like try to stick to my main overall bias, which is usually off like the daily or H4 time frame.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's
Yeah.
usually what I do. But right now I want you to like share your screen and just like show me like usually like how you would break down a certain move or certain things that you're looking for.
Gotcha. Yeah. Hold on. All right. So this is my current chart for UJ. Let's see. Hold on. My bad. I was just that was the other thing. Friday I started like journaling my trades just so I could like actually like have something going into the next week. This is kind of doing a little bit. what I'm expecting right now is just for it to reject this H4 zone and continue to like letting it be at the level of support. And then throughout the rest of the week, it should continue like the ascending triangle it kind of has forming right now. So I'm kind of just going through that right here. Let me see what else. GJ, I kind of have it continuing off the jet. Like, yeah, it's rejecting perfectly right here. Just kind of like going through. Probably, possibly like having some type of resistance at the 141.43. So, yeah, but everything's like all my zones. I don't like going lower than H4 only because like that's when I feel like I get caught up in the noise.
Like, yeah, definitely,
Yeah, but
especially
like
with GJ.
yeah, no, so, like all this stuff right here.
And it's super tight in that area, so it's like you gotta be.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the other thing too. So I was just kind of flipping through it. I hadn't traded GU in a while, so this is like my first time marking it up in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just kind of. So H4 is usually like the main time frame I'll base my structure off of, but like I'll also focus on like H6 too,
Okay.
just to get a little bit more clarity. Just
All
so
right.
in case
Since you're in that swing mentality, that makes sense.
yeah, so I just like see that and try to catch like the overall move like too. So and just because it finally broke through the zone, I'll probably wait for it to come back down because this
All right.
is like also around a quarter point as well.
Right, exactly. And that's usually like when you're trying to set up your trading plan, like those are like certain things that you want to make sure that you're noticing is like, where in the market am I more probable? You know what I mean? Like what areas of the market, if I know that I'm seeing an uptrend structure on my main analyzer time frame, meaning the time frame that I'm on 80% of the time, then I'm sticking to that main bias. You know what I mean? And I'm executing just on that lower time frame, whether it's the 30-minute, 15-minute, whatever, with that main time frame overall structure. Right. So I'm always, like you said, going H6, going H4, dropping down, going back up, depending on whether I need more detail or less detail. But that's how you set your parameters for your trade plan. And it's like if you don't see those kind of things, taking place, if you don't, see like, all right, I got a trend line opportunity. I'm seeing who has that main momentum inside the market. You know what I mean? And if I don't see those type of things, then I'm not trading. I'm just analyzing, and I'm just making sure that I'm analyzing 80% of the time, only executing 20% of the time. Because when you execute, you want to make sure that you're maximizing your opportunities, and that's what a lot of traders don't do. A lot of traders that take like what I like to call like the crumbs. You know what I mean? Like they'll take 23.6 moves and stuff like that instead of waiting for those deeper retraces, those deeper max moves, so that way you can actually get your reward. You know what I mean? And that way you're not messing up your psychology, wondering, why am I putting my stop loss here and they keep getting hit or things like that, because you understand when you're getting those 78.6, 88.6 retracement levels, your risk is very minimal. You know what I mean? And then you can have the confidence once you start understanding your candlestick anatomy and start throwing those type of things in there, major market patterns, how much confluence you actually have, then you're confident enough to take the type of entries that you want to take.
Okay. So like as far as it goes, it's like when you're actually like about to put a trade in. So this is like one of the things is like my analysis will be on point, but then it's just kind of gets to that like how confident am I in that trade, right? Because like what I've always been trying to do is like I've been working on my patience a lot and it has been getting better, but it's like at the same time I'm trying to like get to that point to where, okay, you know what, I see this entry right here, I got to pull the trigger, but also make sure that I have a stop loss that I'm confident in, that where it's not too tight or too far. You know what I'm saying?
And that's when it comes to, for instance, like you can put in your trading plan, making sure that your stop loss is outside of structure, and outside of a fluctuation zone. So, if you got your zone, for instance, where the market is laying on that last support point on the top of that red zone.
Right here.
Yep, exactly. Like you would be like, all right, if I had an entry in somewhere in there, I would make sure that it's underneath that last higher low point outside that exhaustion zone, to a certain extent. Like I'm not saying you got to go all the way down there, but at least below those last higher low points that's to the left. So that way, you know, if the market comes down there, I'm wrong. Like my analysis is all the way wrong. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And as long as your risk is predetermined, like you knowing, like, all right, if I'm using a point one, then I know if I'm down, you know, $35, $40, then, you know, I'm wrong. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going in the wrong way. That's 40 pips. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, boom. But if I'm keeping that risk at, you know, $20 each trade, and the profit and TPs is, you know, limitless, then it's like your ratio of you're hitting 80%, 8 out of 10 trades. Even if you do take those normal losses, your profit will definitely outweigh. You see what I'm saying? Those normal
Yeah.
losses that you do take, because everybody takes normal losses. You know what I mean?
Right.
So as long as you're okay with seeing red, and you don't take yourself out of trades, like that's another thing you could put in your trade plan, like not taking yourself out of trades. Like either my stop loss is going to get hit or my TP is going to get hit. You know what I mean? Everything is predetermined. Other than that, I'm letting the market breathe. I'm letting it do what it do, and I'm trusting my analysis. I'm having perseverance, you know, a perseverance bias, you know, maintaining my analysis until it reaches that point. You know what I mean? Like, and not being scared to like jump in through those time frames and making sure you're seeing what you need to see as far as the overall picture.
Right. Okay. Okay. So what's called? You said before that, analyze 80% of the time, trade 20%.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that stop losses are set in zone like outside of structure.
Right. Outside of structure, meaning like, for instance, if you got in at that higher low point, like we were looking at, then
Uh-huh.
that previous higher low point a little bit to the left,
Yeah.
that's where you will want your stop loss to be. So if you enter right there, keep going to the left, keep going to the left,
Like
like
right
under
here.
there, exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because that
Yeah.
gives you enough breathing room, and you already on top of support. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's like if it breaks through that, then you know that you're wrong. You know it's so much seller momentum in the market that, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just one of those things.
Right. Right.
But as long as you're sticking within your trading plan and you're like, all right, I know my edge. And that's another thing you could put in there is understanding where do you have your edge? You know, where are you more probable in the market? If you know, like, all right, when I see a double bottom pattern, you know, in a seller's market, you know, I mean, in a buyer's market, I understand that, like, you know, what GJ is going to do or what GU is going to do. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
more probable on these areas, so that's my edge. So that's
Right.
that. Those are more things that I'm keying into. You know, as far as opportunities. So understand what your opportunities are for you to execute and for you to up your lot size. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because it's all about understanding where you are at in the market, you know, and what opportunities present themselves. So don't chase it. Just understand what opportunities are going to present themselves and what opportunities you're more probable at.
Right. Right. Okay. So just understanding overall like the opportunities and like why you're placing a trade, right? So like,
Exactly. So
okay.
like even if I don't know if you know, but like even in the journals that I sell, like I have a trading journal that I
Mm-hmm.
publish, and it's just like basically in here, it actually has a template. You know what I mean? That sets your mindset. So it has certain things that set your mindset as far as your self discipline, and then
Mm-hmm.
also areas, you know, where it asks you questions like what confirmations made you get in this trade, how many confirmations, you know, draw your entry candle, is it an engulfing variation? What's your
Mm-hmm.
summary analysis? Are you an intraday? Are you thinking of an intraday trade or a swing trade? What's your reasons for maintaining this trade? You know,
Right.
things like that. So it's a bunch of things you can use and resources, you know, that's available for you to help, you know, your psychology out when it comes to being inside the market and active market at that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then like another thing that I was having trouble with was like my reactiveness to like news and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because say like some news will come out and then like it seems like it will be like a big thing, but it ends up having like no effect in the market and like I'll close my order, but then like it'll just like continue like going up. You know what I'm saying?
But that's why you just got to follow technically, you know, what's
Right.
happening on the charts technically. Like, am I still seeing higher low points? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like news, if you're already in the market and news hit, it still has to follow structure to a certain point. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, if my higher lows being maintained, or I act like a lot of times I act like news isn't even there. Like it'll hit, and then especially if I'm not in the market, I'll
Right.
let it hit, and then I act like, all right, what kept happening after that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like sometimes I'll just let it breathe some, just so I can make sure I'm in the market that I want to be in. You know what I mean? Because it's your choice to be inside the market and trade when you trade. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So understanding.
Yeah, man. And then I would say also what will help you as far as your consistency,
Mm-hmm.
stick to one pair mainly. You know, I know you got like 3 pairs that you usually look over, but like find
Yeah.
one that you really bang with and stick to that one. I would say like 80-90% of the time, bro. Like I
Yeah.
promise that'll help with your psychology too, because you know, even though some of the pairs that you're trading are like correlated together, man,
Yeah.
when you have your relationship with your pair and you know how your pair move,
Yeah.
like you should know your pair to the point where it's like, all right, if I need to pay my bills or if I need to do something, I know I could go eat off of this pair. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And really master one pair before, you know, you start going to you know, other pairs and things like that.
Yeah, but like that was the issue I was having before is that I went from trading like multiple pairs
Mm-hmm.
to then like just trading like mainly UJ and then like I dabbled in GJ,
Mm-hmm.
but like then I actually saw like more of a drop off because I was over analyzing it to
Mm-hmm.
where my bias was just fluctuating all the time.
Right. Exactly, bro. That's what happened because it's like you jumping. So it's like you looking at one market behavior, then you looking at a whole another market behavior, and this one might have news, this one might have market
Oh
manipulation.
no, I'm talking about when I was just like I was only trading like UJ, right?
Oh,
So
okay, yep.
like yeah, so like that was like the biggest thing. So like I would find the main move, right? So
Mm-hmm.
then I'm sticking to that. I'm sticking to that. But then it's like I'm looking at the chart too much to the point to where I'm like, oh well, this is saying this is saying that,
Mm-hmm.
and then like hold on, let me see because this happened a couple different times. Because had I like so, let me just give what I was looking at. Okay, so right here, right? So I saw this level of support just get respected all the way
Mm-hmm.
throughout these H4 candles, and I had a couple like sells
See,
in because I'm
I
like,
I don't even cut price like that. Like I don't
okay,
even do that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
because I feel like once you start cutting price, you're in a whole nother environment of the market. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? Like what happened back there, like that area that's to the left, it got broke. So your newfound resistance was up there by that red line, and then you
right,
still had the higher low point that was respected. But I wouldn't even cut price to try to make that make sense right there. I wouldn't even do
right. No, I understood why that happened though because
that.
I went on a daily time frame, and then I saw that all this right here, this ended up being like a 23.6
Exactly.
retracement
Yeah.
because from right here to here was a
Yeah.
23.6
And
tested. So
and,
that
and
means
UJ and GJ does that a lot, bro. Like they'll have little 23.6 and then they'll continue back and hit that 0% and come back and to make that real higher low point. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, no, I'll tell you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, so all right. So just kind of just going from there. All right. All right. So yeah. Okay. But yeah, overall, my bias is definitely still leaning more towards sells just on this,
Yeah.
just because of how it's going.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro.
All
Yeah,
right.
bro.
So what would be your opinion as far as like trading on like Sundays? Because that's something for like.
Shit, I'm in trades right now. I'm in trades right now, bro. Like I don't play like you know.
hmm
Like I'd be like, gotta catch them all. You feel me? Like, but like I
Yeah.
said, I trade like US 30. You feel me? So it's like
Okay.
I look at GJ sometimes or GA sometimes, but mainly I've been on US 30 because they pay out so well. So
Right. Wait, so how do you like, can you actually go over with me like how you actually analyze like indexes? Because I've
yeah,
tried to like analyze them in the past and it just kind of like
yeah.
it
I
goes
analyze
wrong.
them kind of like the same way I do forex pairs really. But yeah, I'll show you. Let me show my
All
screen.
right. All right.
Yeah. So like, go to a different chart. Yeah, I'll go to a different chart. All right. So yeah, usually it's like top down analysis is like what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I see that, of course, since market opened back in 2016, we've been on a bullish run. So
Mm-hmm.
that's where the main momentum has been coming from. Uh, area that we have here is like major support that we have found here based off of these two candles, one, two, and
Mm-hmm.
as you can see, it's been tested, and then even if I go to the line chart, let me turn
Right.
it black. Even if I go to the line chart and I start looking at certain areas that just I feel make sense. And the reason I drew this here is because like some minor support was in this area and then minor resistance in this area, minor support in this area, also tested in this area. So going back to the candlesticks, you see it had some type of
Right.
relevance to price, right? The same thing, like I'll look at like areas like
Right.
this, and then just overlap them a tad bit. So that way it's
Okay.
a little overlap over here and then a little
Mm-hmm.
overlap right there. Test it, I'm sure. Right. See what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, Up here, I usually just like if I don't see anything, go back to the candlesticks just to make things kind of make sense.
Right.
With the information that we have. So now I know that I'm working in this area, right? Not
Right.
too much concerned about past price. I'm just seeing the candlesticks, how they form, where support areas was formed at, because I'm on overall. I know I'm on an uptrend overall on the monthly time frame
Right.
because none of this has been broken, right? So then walking it down, I understand that we had a major break of support that happened up in this area, these areas, when COVID happened, market crash kind of. Since then we've
Yeah.
been recovering, higher low points being maintained on the weekly time frame. Seeing a little more detail up in this area. I'm gonna change these black. So seeing a little bit more detail up in these areas, higher low points, higher low points. Going down to the daily now, which is where I see structure at the most. Even if you needed to like draw structure out real quick, you know, you could clearly see the main structure of what's going on. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. So then, how would you go as far as like, for something like this, when you know how volatile it is, how would you go about like actually like your risk management, and then like with placing stop loss, would you do it like the same way as far as
Do it
like?
the same way. Like I usually do,
Okay.
Like I usually do. Like I said, I pretty much analyze them, these things the same way
Right.
in a sense. And I just understand that it's more volatile. So in certain places I can see a little bit more fluctuation, but it doesn't like scare me at this point because I'm used to trading like GJ, high volatile pairs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we had that break that happened here, had this retest. So like say we seen this engulfing that happened right here,
Mm-hmm.
on our 4 hour time frame, then we could jump down to our 30-minute time frame. Understand that we're at a higher low point area. Also gave us a major market pattern, double bottom area that happened right here as well.
Right.
Right. Broke support when it gave us our engulfing pattern, came back. So at that point, that's when you can just be waiting for a point of newfound resistance. newfound support because we already know where we are in a higher time frame.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, we understood the market just made a higher low point after breaking this final resistance with plus our engulfing pattern. So now we're just looking for entry variations.
Right.
Entry variations could be somewhere like around here.
Yeah.
Once that candle closed, and then pretty much, bro, my stop loss would probably be like right under, like right under this main area that was once resistance, now found support. Like it would probably be like right up under this area just because of how volatile this pair is.
Right.
And then TP would be still based off, that
H4 time frame.
H4 time frame. Yeah.
Right.
Negative 27%, or even if because my fibs really would have been from point A, point B on this time frame.
Right.
Point B, point C, 50% level as well. And then negative 27, negative 61 would have been my TP areas, which is also previous resistance right here.
Gotcha.
So just that's like a short markup of like how I would have did things.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's what I was doing for the longest time. So I guess it's more just like holding those orders and
Right.
like. Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm. And just letting things, like I said, letting things play out.
Mm-hmm.
Being cool because I'm telling you, the big dogs get paid on the higher time frames, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like waiting for them things to hit negative 27 and things like that. Like even where current market prices at now.
Right.
My projections, negative 27. If it breaks past this area, negative 61.8.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm on the lower time frames. Just analyzing and making sure things play out the way that I expect them to. Seeing that points of support still being held up.
Right.
And just monitoring the lower time frames, making sure that they add up with the higher time frames. Main support being held up. Seeing if there's any like trend line opportunities and like stuff like that. Just being active on the charts.
Gotcha.
All right. And if my higher time frames are pushing momentum where with my still like full candles, full volume, then I'm holding orders. Like
right.
no matter what this little shit is doing down here, like I'm holding orders because I know the higher time frame momentum guy has to kick in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and that's just being confident in your order. And like I said, having that perseverance.
Mm-hmm. So as far as like when you start, let's call it, when you start seeing like all these different price lists reacting crazy, say like there was something that came up, are you like, which as far as like maintaining the order itself and it's an active candle, like are you just waiting for the close of that candle and like if it hits stop loss, it hits stop loss?
Yeah. Like usually I'm like, if it hit my stop loss, it just hit my stop loss. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just out there trading and then I'm back again looking for, other entry opportunities and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I just chalk it up as another L. Like, all right.
Gotcha.
For real,
So then,
because it really don't phase me at this point no more. Because it's like I know I'm a high probability trader, so it's like my percentage is gonna outweigh that loss.
right.
So think more than like ratios and 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, like things like that.
Okay. All right. So then, as far as like getting back into the market after like a losing streak, like what would you say is like the best way to go about that? Because I don't want to go back
I would
to
say
like
demo. I would say demo first. I would demo a little bit just to make sure I'm seeing things clearly with that pair again, and that just so I get my confidence back really. And then once I feel comfortable and confident, then I got a nice size like a $500 to a $750 account I could put in there, so I got some breathing room.
Yeah.
And I'm back in there,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me see. So just to like solidify the trading plan and everything. So analyze 80% of the time, trade 20%. Make sure stop losses are outside of structure or like outside of the zone. No taking yourself out of the trades. Stick to your analysis over and all. and like that goes to the same for as far as like take profit areas, like keeping it like
Yeah.
the negative 27, negative 61.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Be
And
okay with
then
fluctuation. Be okay with seeing red. You know, make sure, like I said, stop loss predetermined. Make sure you're journaling your trades so that way you
mm,
got data recorded. Of what did this candle entry look like. Things like that.
but
Yeah, make sure that you're back testing. And just be active when you're on the charts. Like be actively, marking up and charting and you know seeing
mm,
how things are playing out and flipping through time frames.
right, right. So like when you're talking about like, so this is the thing that I've always had issues with was like actively charting, because like I'll try to just like look, I almost like force things when I'm charting, and then like it causes me to like kind of like fuck myself up a little bit, because like I'm trying to look at all these different things and make sense of it on lower time frames that ends up conflicting with my high time frame analysis.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like even like what you're doing now, like I would see something like that, I'd be like, okay, you know what? It looks like an ascending triangle, even though it's on the 15 minute, it could mean that it might come for like a slight drop. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, but the way I be thinking is like, man, shit. I'm always thinking with the glass half full. I'm like, man, this shit can shoot up. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like that's how I be thinking because I've seen it happen, bro. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like shit can shoot up and your TP could get hit like that. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like anything. Like that's why you just got to be open to it and let the market breathe and understand that you're in a fluctuating market. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like it's gonna breathe. It's gonna be some hectic spikes and stuff like that. But like if you're managing your risk and you got a set plan of like how you're going about your lots and your risk, and you'll be fine, bro. I promise you. Just don't over leverage.
Right.
Understand that it's a growth game. You want to have longevity in this career. Like it's not something that you just want to flip because you're always gonna have to place another trade, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You always, even when you get the bag, you're gonna withdraw that and then you still gonna have to trade again. So it's like, bro, just trust the journey and grow through that, and give
Mm-hmm.
yourself a raise. Like if you know that, okay, you hit 7 out of 10 trades and you got some risk capital now because more money than you invested, then it's like, bro, just make sure that you hold on, bro. Just make sure that you actually, damn, I lost my train of thought, man.
As far as like, so what's called, you're talking about like if you get some profit, like
Yeah,
making
yeah.
sure you
Okay,
get
okay,
yourself
okay.
a
That's what I
raise
was
off of
doing.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
My brother had called me. But yeah,
That's all
so
good.
daggone risk capital, understand that that's cushion room. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
it's like if you're used to doing a point one and you're up $100 off of point one, then it's like, all right, bet now that I got $100 plus whatever money I invested plus the $500 I invested, so I'm up $600 now. Instead of doing a point one, I could go up to a point three. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And still be comfortable. You know what I mean? Like that's the biggest thing. Like you want to be able to place your trades and be comfortable. Like, and just be able
Right.
to analyze as if you're not even trading. You know what I mean? Same way like when you're not, and that's why I say analyze 80% of the time, because you get used to just analyzing. You're just flowing along with as the market's moving. You're not
Mm-hmm.
chasing the market. You're not, tripping on what's going on. You like, all right, bet, like it's just another move. It's another
Right.
swing, you know.
Okay. Okay. So then, as far as like, how do you go about like knowing when you should withdraw? Because like I'm
Oh, I
at, cause
withdraw
like,
every week, man. Like
all
it's
right.
based on your necessities and like how much you need your cash flow and things like your responsibilities and stuff like that. But me, like I pay myself, bro. Like if it's anything I do, I withdraw.
Right. Okay. No, cause like that's the hard thing. Cause like I'm still like, cause I'm only like I just turned 20.
Okay.
So I'm just like it's not like a whole like a lot of stuff I got really paid for.
Yeah. So if that's the
Like
case, bro, just grow. You know what I'm saying? Grow, but understand it's gonna take a certain type of self discipline to
Right.
see it fluctuate, because you're gonna have win streaks, you're gonna have loss streaks and things like that. So I would say just an amount that you're comfortable with withdrawing, so that way you always stacking something to the side just in case, you blow your account or anything might happen, an emergency or whatever. You still stacking it and got like a rainy day fund for, okay, bet if I've been stacking for, if I've been withdrawing $500 a week, you know what I mean, or $800 a week,
Right.
and I'm only spending 4 of that, or 3 of that, or whatever the case is, and I'm tucking the rest. You
Mm-hmm.
give yourself 2 months, you know what I mean? You're gonna have that much more just to be able to, do whatever it is that you want to do, bro. Whether
Gotcha.
it's fund yourself a bigger account, start learning a different skill, a different trade, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 And then what's called another thing that I was having an issue with was as far as like the order I should like my technical. So like before anything else, like I'll always focus market structure becomes before like anything else in my trading plan. But I've always like been confused as like how much should I weigh like my exhaustion zones versus like my
No,
individual
they're all the
levels.
same. They're all the same. They're
Okay.
all the same. No technical comes before another. The exhaustion zone weighs the same amount as trend line, and same amount as whatever else. The little curve things I drew on there, because you draw your technicals. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like the only thing we can't control is market structure. That's the only thing that we can't manipulate. You know what I mean? So it's like that's why that always comes first. But other than that, everything else is on the same playing field, because they're just they're all just dynamic forms of support or resistance.
Right. Okay. Okay. So then let's do 0.1 for dollars. And then as far as like the percentages, as far as like what you call it? So it doesn't like I don't have to ever do the thing where like people are like, oh like I only risk like 2% of my account per trade and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't ever like do you ever worry about that or no?
No.
Okay. Okay. So that all right, that
Yeah, bro. I don't be tripping on that, bro. I just trade.
all right.
No cap. Like I just trade, bro. Like I do what I was taught to do, bro. Read the market, understand which direction is going in, buy low, sell high.
Got you.
Like as you see, like I don't even keep a lot of indicators and shit on there. Like I'm more technical based. Like that's how I learning from Q. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm the same. I was the same way because like I went through Wall Street Academy like 2 or 3 times,
Okay.
and like I understand everything like why certain things are happening, but then it's like as far as like when I'm looking for my move,
Mm-hmm.
because I went like I I mentally I just started recovering from like a loss I took way back in like June because
Okay.
like I was like top of the hill, like made like a bunch of money, and then like I just lost like I lost like pretty much majority of it. Where I was like, fuck, like how do I even like starting doubting my moves and everything like that, not knowing when I should enter a trade anymore, stuff
Yeah,
like
bro. It's part of the journey, man. It's part of the
that.
journey, man. That's all I can really say. Like we all had those times, bro. Like
Yeah.
you just got to keep going, bro, and know that like it's a other side to this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's bright, bro. It's limitless. You know what I mean? Because the same way you lose is the same way you can win, bro.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Okay. And then as far so you do like the same thing like 30 like stop loss based off like 30-minute time frame stuff like
yep.
that. Shit, like,
Yeah, whatever time frame I enter on. Yeah.
okay. All right. Bet. All right. All right. Say less. Yeah. All that.
Yeah, and then also put down like the times that you're trading, so that way you could keep track of it, like the time session that you're trading in. So
Right.
because sometimes you might just be trading during a dead period, or things like that. Like so, just pay attention to the time too, because that's the major factor in this whole game.
Got you. Oh, how do you go about like journaling your actual trades? Like, do you just like keep it on Trading View, or do you actually like
No,
have like a
bro, I
notebook?
have a journal, bro. I have my own journal. That's what I was telling you. Like you could order one of these if you want to. Like, yeah, bro. I got a whole journal of like my site FX commandments, and the
Mm-hmm.
first commandment is like know your why, be adaptable in market conditions, be optimistic, let the market breathe. Remember, trading is binary. Trading is 80% analytical, 20% execution. All it takes is the right account size, the right skill set, and the right trading week, and your life can change drastically. You know, manifest your beliefs until they come true. One trade, whether good or bad, does not define you as a trader. Finding balance between your craft and life is key. And the most important thing in trading is confidence. The most confident trader will profit, you know. So I got those things. And like I said, I also got, you know, just the whole template of stuff and then psychological concepts. Because I don't know if you know, but I was at Howard, like getting my PhD in psychology. So it's like I put a bunch of psychological biases that occur in trading, you know, in this book and everything, bro. Like, book fire, bro.
All right. Wait, where can you get it?
On my website, it's psychfx.myshopify.com.
All right. Wait, do you have like an Instagram that's like in your bio?
Yeah, I mean, I can send it to you in the Discord, bro.
All right, bet.
Yeah, I can send it to you. But that's what I use to track all my trades, bro. And like even Drew, like Drew got some, you know what I mean? Q got some. Like that's how we all been like, you know, journaling our trades and things like that.
Copy. All right, bet. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this. I was so done because like, yeah, I'm trying to make it so like the last summer I had to work a job.
Yeah, bro.
Like,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Because you need that time. You know what I'm saying? You need that time to, you know what I mean, be able to put time into your craft and have that creative time to actually let ideas come to you. You know what I mean? Like be able to sit with them and things like that. Can't do that working 10 hours for somebody else.
That's a fact. All right, track what time is trading, click the dead period. Point one. Stop loss on entry time frame. And you do it like the previous higher low for like as far as
Yep.
like stop losses? Okay.
Yep. Previous higher low, and the same thing with if I'm on the sell, it'll be the previous lower high. Like my stop loss will be above the previous lower high point.
Okay. So you don't do it like the lowest lower high point or like the lowest higher low point or vice versa?
No, I always do that because you need something, you need a ceiling. You know what I mean? Because you want something powerful to be able to push through that to let you know that you're wrong. So that's why I always go like if I'm selling here, my stop loss gonna be above the previous one.
Okay, and then like you're just looking at the market to see if it was just like a random spike. Because if it was just a random spike,
yeah, no. It definitely need like a couple candles for like confirmations and stuff. Yeah, like I don't just take it off like base one candle. You know.
All right, I got you.
Yeah.
So as far as entry time frame, stick for like M15, then M30, then work my way down as I get more experience.
Yeah, I would say stick with the higher ones like M30, then M15, then M5 because M30 is gonna have enough volume in that candle to let you know, like, all right, price is moving in this direction. And then as you get better with your candlestick anatomy, then I would drop down to get more detail if you need it.
All right. Okay, all right. Shit. Yo, my bad, bro. I'm really trying to like.
No, you're good, bro. Bro, I appreciate you taking it serious, bro.
Yeah, no, like that. Like, cause like, cause like all my boys like they try to like learn how to trade from me, and like I get pissed off because it's like shit. I taught these niggas how to do this shit, and like then they're having more success, but then I'm just like shit. It's just because psychologically I'm not where I need to
you
be.
know, so and then don't get to that point where like you know so much that you start, you know what I mean, messing with your own head about things or over analyzing. Like that's why I say create that trade plan, bro. Let the trade plan ride, bro, and just trust yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like really trust yourself like that. Trust that you put time into studying this material, you know, studying the candlesticks and the trends and the market patterns to know like if you're taking a order, if you're executing an order, that you're more probable that this order is gonna go in your favor. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I feel you. All right. Shit. What else? Let me see. So entry time frame, people stop by. Fuck. Okay. Yeah. So I think I'm definitely gonna do the entry day swing trade shit because otherwise I'm gonna
Yeah, bro.
I'm gonna
Don't.
go.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
scalping shit is for the birds, bro. That's for the newbies, bro. Like no cap. Like the
Yeah.
big dogs get paid on a higher time frame. I promise you.
All right.
4 hour daily time frame projections. That's where the big bucks is at. You know,
All right.
unless you just got stupid capital and you know what I mean.
Right. No, I feel
You can make 3,000 off 30 pips. You know what I'm saying? Like
you. Yeah.
it's nothing, but it's like if you trying to focus on growth and really trying to understand the craft, bro. 4 hour time frame analysis, daily time frame analysis. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
just understand where's the overall momentum at, and then on those lower time frames, executing when things line up with that overall momentum and understanding what keeping your same bias. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. So is there anything I should watch out for when the market first opens? Because I know I've seen it a bunch of times where Sundays are just mad inconsistent. Is that just how it's gonna
It's
be?
just Sundays, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like it depend on what you trade in. It depend on how much liquidity is coming into the market from the previous week and things like that too. So
Right.
you know. It just
All right.
depends, man. But yeah, I would say just make sure things make sense. You know.
All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what's called? Do you write down confirmations at all? Writing down okay,
Bro,
okay.
I do all that in this journal, bro. I promise you, bro. This journal got everything, bro. Like like I said, that shit talk about what confirmations made you get in this trade, how many confirmations, draw your entry candle, engulfing variation, what type of major market pattern, double top or head and shoulders, what's your reason for exit, draw your exit candles, how can you get better in your trading journey, what's your main time frame, what's your entry price, what's your lot size, like everything you need, bro. No cap.
All right, I got you. All right. Well, let me see. What else I do? Let me see. So, no, the technical thing is definitely something that I think is
Yeah.
gonna make a huge difference.
Yeah, bro. Technicals is really where it's at. And I do some fundamental stuff. Like I'll go read, investing.com sometimes and
Yeah.
Bloomberg and things like that and just see what's going on. What can I expect? You know.
Yeah. No, I got you. Hold on one sec. Hey, Dad. What's up?
What up?
What up? Can I call you back real quick?
Okay.
All right. I love you. My bad.
Love you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So all that, and then what's called? Do you should I set a time to actually trade or not? Does that matter?
I mean, it does matter as far as like the pairs that you trade in. Like, you want to get up and understand what's going on when they're at their most volatile state. Which is going to be during London session, NY session.
Yeah.
Things like that. Especially trading like GU, GJ is going to be London session. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
or UJ is going to be NY session, little Asian
Yeah.
session. Things like that. So just understanding and being knowledgeable of that, and then going in and actually studying that pair during those times to see how it moves during this time versus this time, and when that's how you're gonna know when you want to place your trades, because you want to place your trades before the move, not when the
Right.
market gets liquid. You want to place it while the market's almost at a pause, so that way you can actually ride the move. You see what I'm saying?
I got you. Okay. Yeah. So it's thinking about it because I noticed the thing with UJ is that this time now and the reason why even though it's hold on, I'm gonna just share my screen real quick.
Okay.
Cause yeah, see this is why I wasn't looking for a trade right now because of the way it's moving.
Mm-hmm.
So just even with all this wick, I'm not even looking for any type of selling opportunity just yet.
Right.
Because
Because it's still testing support. It's still testing support right now.
Yeah, and the fact that during the Asian session is always when the Japanese banks are driving the value of the euro up. So
Okay.
it's just driving that down. So stuff like that. But like in the past, like I used to be able to find a lot of setups during Asian session and just like ride them into the NY.
Okay.
So like I'm just like I guess the biggest thing is like when I'm looking at like lower time frames, like stuff like this, like I see it respecting this level of like support at the bottom of my exhaustion zone, and just kind of like going from that, like could that be something like, oh, okay, that even though it's on a lower time frame, I could potentially make this an intraday an intraday trade, and this like ride it up to like a point of exhaustion right up here.
I mean, if you're gonna counter trade,
Yeah.
counter trend trade, then it's like that's when you want to use your fibs. So that's when I'll put my fibs out, and I'll be trying to get it at its lowest point and take it up to at least that 38.2%.
So
You
like
know, that would be my first TP exactly. So like I'll
okay.
be trying to get in around that 0% area and, and take it up, you know, to first TP 38.2.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so like what he did in like one of those what Q did in one of those webinars,
Right, because that's the first official lower high point. You know what I mean? So you can expect to see some type of resistance or market manipulation around 38.2, especially seeing that you got a trend line right there too.
Right, and then hold on, like looking down on like smaller time frame, seeing this rejection because it's breaking that lower high point structure right here. Okay, all right, I see what you. Okay, so just like simplifying everything so where it's not like nothing too crazy, right?
Exactly, like just keeping it simple and just making things make sense.
I got you. All right, yeah. Shit. Let me see. Fuck. And then like if it doesn't, so I think the other thing too, so like if it doesn't do what I think it's about to do, just like straight up like don't enter the trade, just like let the market ride out, right?
Chill. Yeah, let it breathe. Let it breathe until you get back to an entry base point.
Got you.
And your entry base points on the uptrend are gonna be at your higher low points, and on the downtrend, your lower high points.
Right. Oh, and do you have anything as far as like scaling in orders that you do? Or
I just basically when I'm scaling in, I usually do it based off another entry base point on my main entry time frame. So if I'm on a 30-minute time frame, then I would be scaling in on my 30-minute time frame or lower. You know?
All right.
And my stop loss stays the same as my first order.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that. Let's see, let the market breathe. Okay. Okay. Let's see that. And like quarter points, the same thing. You just kind of like treat it like every other technical.
Every other technical. Yep. Dynamic form of support and resistance.
All right. How do you? This is the other thing too. On indices, how do you go about? Is it like the same way like as regular quarter points when you're doing on indices? Like you just like.
Well, I haven't used quarter points on US 30, so I'm not sure about you know, I just know US 30 has certain price points that are support and resistance, kind of like quarter points, but not necessarily the same because it's an indice. You know what I mean? So, but it has something similar, but it's just like I haven't found a need to apply them to my charts yet. Just because if I don't need it, I'm not gonna put it on there. Like, you know.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That.
Yeah, man. But no, that's straight, man. You good?
Yeah, I think I should be straight now. So
Yeah,
I appreciate you, bro.
No, I appreciate you, man. Just make sure you follow that trading plan. Like sit with it. You know what I mean? And actually be consciously aware of like, you know, what do I look like in these markets if I'm entering at this area versus this area? What are my more probable moments? You know, probable areas. What's my edge? You know, when is there opportunity for me to up my risk? You know what I mean? Up my lot size, you know, things like that.
All right.
Yeah, man. And if you need me, man, just hit me up, man. Hit me in the Discord.
Definitely. And then as far as like how long I should go with like demoing, is there like a certain point?
Yeah, I would just say demo till you feel confident, till you're seeing consistent results, you know, on that pair. And then You know, when you get the right account size that you feel you're comfortable with, you know, that's when you go live.
Got you. I got you. All right, bro. Thank you so much.
All right, bro. No problem.
All right, man. Be
All
easy.
right. You too.